Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here because I remember the first time I heard your name was in a rap song. I remember rappers would rap about being laced up by Dapper Dan. You know, people would talk about these threads from Dapper Dan, styled by Dapper Dan. It was an idea and it was a myth. And now when people see you today, they go, the suits, they see you dressing people at the Met Gala, they think, oh yeah, this man's a fashion designer, but you didn't start in the most normal place. You started making something out of nothing as a hustler.
Yes, exactly. I started with nothing. I was like, you would probably say, you was born in crime. I was born in crime.
Wow, right.
Yeah, and so I had to adjust to life. So I used the tools that was available to me. When I wanted to open up a store, nobody would sell to me. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna figure out how to do this myself. I'm gonna learn how to make fabric and do everything that the big boys do and do it better than they do it.
You really did something that I don't think anybody thinks is possible. I don't think anyone has achieved in the same way that you've done it. For those who don't know, you know those like very fancy Fendi, you know, outfits that you see? You know all these designer clothes where you see like all the labels everywhere on it, like Louis Vuitton, Louis Vuitton, Louis Vuitton, Louis Vuitton, or Fendi, 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 Fendi. That was him. So a lot of people don't know this about Dapper Dan, but you came along and you created like a street version of what these high-end brands were creating. You made your own version of Gucci, your own version of Fendi, your own version of all of these brands, which became bigger than the brands for many black people.
Yeah, you know what I did? What they call me is the father of logomania. I looked at the brand, I looked at the brand, I say, wow, everybody's excited about the logo. But Gucci is not making jackets. Fendi is not making jackets. None of these guys are making jackets and outfits. I say, wow, well, if they're excited with the bag, imagine if I can make them look like the luggage.
But you know what's cool about the book is you tell the story of how, here's this man, played dice, you know, hustling in the streets. Yeah. You start working in fashion. You go, I'm gonna dress people in Gucci the way I think they wanna be dressed in Gucci. They wanna be dressed in Fendi. And then the fashion houses came after you. They sued and shut you down, and then they went and stole the designs that you made for the people in the streets. That's an interesting space to be in.
Yeah, when you consider this, like, I wasn't doing knockoffs, I did knock-ups. I made the brand better.
Right.
Yeah.
What did you think the first time you saw your designs on a runway?
I wanted to run up and just snatch it off them and say, this is mine. You know, but social media wasn't out when I first saw that the big brands was doing it.
Right.
And I said, wow, look at this. The only thing I thought would ever happen is that one day somebody would figure out, well, that came from Dapper Dan. But the day came sooner than I thought.
The day did come sooner than you thought, because what's interesting is, and I didn't know this from, you know, I learned this from the book, is you initially started off helping rappers out. Because when you gave rappers clothing, rap wasn't big.
It sure wasn't, because they still owe me money. And I talk about it in the book.
And so you dressed everybody from LL Cool J and, you know, Jam Master Jay, and you dressed Salt and Pepper, that infamous look. That was all you. And that became the style.
Yes.
You know? And then the rappers turned around and they made Dapper Dan a name when they became big, which was a beautiful circle of life there.
Yes, it sure is. You know what? I think the most exciting person that come through who even rose above the rappers was Mike Tyson. And that was the big thing. When Mike Tyson came in there and had the big fight with Mitch Green inside my store and outside my store, they said, the brand said, well, what the heck is a Dapper Dan? And then the whole world caved in.
The whole world has caved in. Mm-hmm. You have now gotten to a place where you're no longer seen as an outsider, but rather a trendsetter. Yes. You work with these fashion houses. They've teamed up with you. For instance, you work with Gucci now, where they've said, Dapper Dan, we want to create with you. Yeah. In fact, you were part of the conversation when Gucci had that incident where they came out with those designs where people, there was backlash on social media.
Yes.
Why did you team up with them? Why did you work with Gucci when many people were saying
you know what, I did a lot of research even before I got into the partnership, and I researched like Alexandro, the lead designer, and I researched Marco, the CEO, and I know these men were genuine. So I said, what happened? I said, well, y'all, I don't know what happened. You know, if you shoot a guy by accident, you shoot him on purpose, he's dead.
Right.
So I told him, you have to come to Harlem, and we got to fix this. You got to explain to people what they did, and they came. You know, and so now we have the Change Maker program, whereby Gucci's going to be putting money into different programs. We're going to have inclusivity. We got vice presidents now of color. And so it's a big program. It's the Change Makers program. So we're going to make a change. And actually, what we're starting here with Gucci, we need to move that on to other brands.
Because that was a big thing people complained about. They said the reason brands keep making these mistakes is because they have no people of color working on their stuff. And you came in and said, Gucci, we need to change this. Instead of an apology, I want to see a change.
Exactly. That's exactly. And we need to take that change to every brand.
Right. What do you think you want to see change in the future in fashion, now that Dapper Dan has a name and clout?
What I really would like to see is that, you know, culture is what moves fashion. And, you know, this hip-hop culture went global.
Right.
So if the culture can go global, why can't the representatives of the culture go global as well? So that's what I advocate for. I advocate for more people who make a contribution to the culture that enables these brands to make money, to be inclusive to their brand.
Right. Make that money, man. It's an exciting book, an amazing life. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.